Uh, Hopefully the audio is working. So I'm waiting for update. So waiting for the update so I can know whether it's working or not. Uh, Hopefully the audio is working. So okay, so sorry for the long startup delay. Again, YouTube has went back on its system, so now the update cycle is around 20 seconds. There was a low latency test that they were doing, but we no longer are in the low latency mode. Thank you. You all good? Yep. Everything is working. It was just I forgot about the this part, basically the mic part. So this is the live stream where we're going to talk about my upgrade to this puppy, Samsung S23 FE. FE is fan edition, basically the cheaper variant of the, basically when that year is happens, like S series the primary one, so F series fan edition is basically, it takes gives everything that S series has but on a cheaper price. So there is a bit of compromise but not too much compromise. So this design is basically, you are getting ultra but for lower cost. So camera is like a cut down, obviously instead of 5 cameras you only get 3. But overall, in terms of core, in terms of architecture, in terms of, well, everything, this is literally a flagship phone from Samsung's point of view. Samsung is like, this is a flagship. Now the reason why I had to upgrade to this is because how bad this phone performed, meaning the camera quality of this was like, basically it's unfinished. I do not think like they actually sat down and finished the software on this puppy, so it was really bad. And given the fact that I use mobile phone as a thumbnail maker, so it's a, like, I really need to get it working. It's not an optional or luxury for me, I have to. And my father was complaining that his phone, a previous phone which is 5 years old, was not working. So that's what happens in my case. So basically I get a new phone or my brother gets a new phone and our old phone gets passed down. So we generally use phone for a very long time, like 5-6 years is common. So that's why it's just after buying that I just bought this. Now this is the most expensive phone I have bought so far. And why did not you went to like 23 directly rather than a fan edition? Why not that? That is around 10,000 rupees more expensive if I went for 256 gigabyte variant. This is 256 gigabyte variant. Now Samsung's philosophy is that if you buy a S series class, basically this sort of puppies, you are rich enough that you can afford actually buying the more capacity rather than trying to trick utilizing a SD card. So I had to pay excess for it. Otherwise it would have been a really good deal, but because we no longer have the luxury of SD cards, I have to buy it. Ironically, because they do understand that in lower budget people will not do that, so all the lower end phones, they always come with SD card. Like this one has option whether you can have second SIM or SD card, and even lower one ironically has all 3 options. You can have dual SIM plus SD card, which again my last 2 phones has that. My Samsung M30 had that, Samsung F62 had that. Only this one has 0 basically SIM card option, but it is what it is. It's one of those things where Samsung has made that decision from a profit point of view, that they're gonna make sure that if you're buying S series, you need more capacity, more volume of space, yeah, buy a more expensive one. And oh my god, it's expensive. But okay, it's one of those things that's like uncomfortable, painful, but like what else can we do? So I'm not too mad about it. However, this is my first phone that finally gives me USB 3.0. USB 3.0 is 5 Gbps interconnect. This puppy can actually utilize the flash chip that are used in here. For example, when I'm testing the data transfer and all that, I'm getting around 100 to 250 Mbps because it's a main operating system hard drive. So there is a lot of what you call background task also. So you will not get the full 350. So, but I can easily get, if nothing is doing on phone, I'm transferring big video file. Let's say I captured a 8K video. Yes, this for some reason can shoot 8K, but like if I did that, like 4K, 8K, like the video files are huge. This puppy can dump that like there is no tomorrow. It's like, bro, I got this. And even when I'm buffering everything, USB 3 buffering is far quicker. I open the basically the camera folder, all thumbnails come up very quickly. So that is like a tangible upgrade from last year. Because here's the deal, USB 3 is ironically one of the most premier flagship format as of now. It's not available in any phone. Like There is only one iPhone as of now, that is iPhone 15 Pro Ultra Max or something like that, that has USB 3. Even and again, I can understand it because before that they were only using Lightning connector, and Lightning in principle could not support it. They did not have enough wires, so they needed to. Now Samsung was doing S series in Note 9. I think it was the first phone where they gave USB 3.0, meaning you can truly back up and do things with your phone. Like you actually utilize this as a memory capacity. And again, 128 gigabyte empty space is there, so more than enough. So you could do things, but again, our old flash memory was barely giving 20-30 mbps, so USB 3 was not needed. Now we need it. These things are the memory in this is faster than basically this. Think about it. And for this we require basically, you know, USB 3.0. So this exact feature set is so rare. Only now modern Pixel 9 and I think Pixel Pro Maxes, they have USB 3.0. And this year in Pixel 9 lineup, they announced that they're gonna finally provide desktop experience. Meaning if you buy S series of Samsung phones or Fold or Flip phones, you can have a hub like this, and you can connect an external display. Now how the heck display will happen? There are two ways where you can use the same USB to get display out. Either it could be a Thunderbolt 3 or USB 4, where it like and there is like a software dynamic mapping where it can send the display signal. Too complex, rarely found in any devices. Or the most logical option is alternate mode, meaning some of the data cables, as you can see, USB 3 has like a lot of pins, USB-C port has like 24 pins, so some of the pins would be allocated for display signaling. So it actually directly from the GPU using the basically a switcher chip sends the signal. This puppy breaks the signal into HDMI signal, and voila, I get 4K directly from this puppy, directly. There is no conversion, no hassle or anything like that. Directly I get full video output of it. Unfortunately, now again I have to wait for my brother to come here so I can test whether this can actually do 4K 60, because this cannot do 4K 60. This can only do 4K 30, and I do not have a laptop to test this on its own, so I'm stuck. And again, I paid a lot for this because again it had 4K 60. So in this phone, in terms of desktop mode, Dex is that desktop experience. I have the luxury of going full HD 60 Hz, as in full HD refreshing at 60 frame per second, or 4K 30. Now 4K 30 gives me more quality, but it's more than good enough for entertainment consumption. Meaning, let's say I'm going in a hotel and I have a lot of media loaded into it, and yes, I am like I'm one of those media snob kind of person where I'm like, I need quality media. Like I have paid subscription of most services. Ironically, when I wanted to watch Loki season 2, even though my TV, this TV that I'm watching everything on right now, it's a LG CX OLED. So this puppy is good. This has Dolby Vision and Dolby Audio. So streaming happened, the handshake happened, Dolby Vision, all that. But bitrate was so low, it was noisy, grainy, and pixelated. And again, you may be like, okay, your internet maybe. So my internet is 300 Mbps. And again, the router is just there. It's not like, oh, interference or no, it's just, and again, people who know the quality of an actual Blu-ray, and yes, I have physical Blu-rays, so I know the quality difference between a 20 Mbps stream, that best case scenario you're gonna get from Netflix, versus 50 or 60 Mbps stream. So yeah, there is a reason for me to have like media loaded onto this, and then going through this and then watching it. It will be at least not pixelated and ultra noisy. Yeah, it may not have the HDR handshake, but still I would prefer this. So that just happened. So I'm genuinely shocked how far Dex has you know, matured. I first thought, okay, how much can you truly do on a smartphone running with this stuff? How can you do? Now, first requirement, you must put power into this. It will work without power, but again, you have to understand this battery is like, bro, I'm not designed as a laptop battery, have some limits. So you supposed to put power from here, then it charges your phone and provides energy for all these things. And again, it does work. Now this dongle that you can see, this one is very unique because this is 4K 60 Hz. Again, I'm not getting 60 Hz, but I hope that it's actually 60 Hz, or maybe future phone can do that, or maybe update can unlock this. And this has 3 USB 3.0. Now this is a primary requirement for me because as a practical thing, right? Like it's good to have USB 3.0. What is the practical use? I want to do what we call data wrangling, meaning whenever I go on trips, I generally take my DSLR with me and I dump all the, basically take photos in this. This is unsafe. If you have only one copy of the data, you have 0 copies. So I do want to, whenever I come home from like visits and all that, I want to dump that media into basically a hard drive, so to say, either a SSD like this or portable hard drives like this. Now my idea is that I come to hotel room, I basically plug this puppy in into their TVs, and yes, all hotels have TVs, so that's not that difficult, and voila, I no longer need to buy a laptop just for this task. I should be able to just voila, plug this puppy in into basically my mobile phone, and I can transfer data from SD cards to hard drive. Can this work? Yes, I have tested it, it does work, but there is a problem. You cannot use NTFS formatted drives because NTFS is a Windows partition. It's designed as a Windows system. So even if you pay attention to the cards that is used in cameras, they are exFAT. FAT system is an old system which only had a capacity of 4 gigabytes of journaling, so it cannot have a single file that is bigger than 4 gigabyte. However, exFAT allows you to go much larger than that, terabytes. So exFAT solves all the issue. So you're supposed to use exFAT, and again, all camera manufacturers, almost anything that has removable media generally is exFAT. We are used to computer systems, or we are like, okay, what format it to NTFS, but if you buy a modern pen drive, 90% chances it is exFAT. Now thankfully Samsung OS is good enough where it can easily do what I want to do from one exFAT device to another exFAT device. On top of that, let's assume you have NTFS. You cannot write to it. There is nothing, you cannot create folders inside, you cannot dump a file inside. However, you can read from it. It's a read only, but you can easily read all the data. Meaning if I have a TV show into this, I can easily watch it. Heck, I can take the TV shows that are here and I can dump it into this memory and go YOLO on it. So that can work. Like again, I would prefer if it could directly read and write on NTFS, but this is the next best thing we can get. So I'm very happy with that. So this DeX experience is like a very, very big change. This is the first time I have a true what you call premium class experience. Because again, here's the deal. You buy a competent phone from OnePlus, Motorola, from Vivo, Oppo, and all other brands, more or less they are good. Like, you know, you're gonna have same kind of camera, and even the performance, like back in the days it was like mind-boggling performance difference. So you're if you are not running on like a flagship, you were barely able to game. So we went from that to like, yeah, the cheap ones can give you 60 hertz, these can give you 120 hertz. Now if you know anything about frame rates, you know the jump from 30 hertz to 60 is big. 60 to 120 is not that big. Again, our perception starts to like kagjil. So it no longer has that crispiness, the like whoa factor. So we went from 60 hertz to 120 hertz. It's like, so what are you getting for paying so much amount of money in a smartphone? USB 3 display out. There is only one iPhone that can do that. Now be mindful, iPhones did have the wisdom that Apple always made sure that all of the iPhones had MHL, mobile HDMI link. Now it's not very high quality, but it had it, meaning that's why you must have seen like people could use iPhones to show presentation. So you may be like, okay, if iPhone had that like from very early on, the moment this technology was available, using their Lightning and their that fat one I'm not sure, but I know for Lightning to HDMI adapters are there for this exact reason. It has MHL built into it. So why don't they develop any you know, DeX setup? Yeah, it will cannibalize their tablet market and smartphone market, because SD people will say, I want this crunching power and all that. Do you actually use it? Do you actually use it? Because here's the M series laptops, they are just overgrown SoCs of a mobile phone, or not even overgrown, like it's literally, in many times a smartphone has the same SoC horsepower compared to what you can buy in a laptop. So it's not the the crunch power you need, you just need the software side of it. Be mindful, this puppy has 8 gigs of RAM, which again is lower than this one, because again I did wanted this system to work, hopefully, but again now my father will enjoy a very long lasting phone. Hopefully he will get 4 updates, hopefully, and it did got 1 update. I have not tested it, I will test it tomorrow, but hopefully the camera would be a bit better. So that has 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigabyte of storage. This has 256 gigabyte of storage but only 8 gigabyte of RAM. This is still far and ahead of what my first computer had, and even my second computer only got 16 gigabytes of RAM half-life. Basically it was a half, like I used it for 10 years and midway I upgraded the RAM. So 8 gigabyte is not something to laugh at, and with proper optimization, more than good enough. And if you, and here's the tricky part, old laptops, like my brother had a very old Sony Vaio laptop, yes, that's old, it could not run YouTube. I installed Linux on it, very lightweight operating system. It could not run YouTube because modern YouTube codecs are so heavy. It was barely able to do full HD. This can easily do 4K. So as a media consumption device, shut up, take money. Like this has crossed it. Now, unless you are very stickler for HDR, this is like shut up, take money. Like as a media consumption, shut up, take money. People are doing emulation on it. And again, as a work, if you are working with documents, spreadsheets, if it can be done on a browser, you can do it on here without any issue. And many of the applications like Microsoft applications and things of that nature, they are also very polished. So you're gonna get a very good experience. Like I was shocked when I actually connected this and it worked. It's like, whoa, like you can do a lot, like a lot. Like if you are willing to push, you can almost do half of what a laptop can do. Like again, lightweight. I'm not really like maximum coding or like, some heavy video editing. And yes, people are doing video editing on it. And there is a Lumira app, if I'm not mistaken. That app is like a pro grade video editing application that should be utilized for like people are using it for tablets, and it was not ported for what you call Android. It was iPhone specific, iOS and iOS specific. However, they are also now coming to, it's a paid app at 2000 rupees, but people are actually doing video editing on smartphones, on Android smartphone. And be mindful, if you can do that, doing with keyboard and mouse with a giant display or a hotel TV, shut up, take money. At that point, you're like, shut up, take money. So the scope, how far this can stretch, practically speaking, is just a software limitation at this point in time. It's not even like, oh, you can't do that. It's just like, yeah, it's a lightweight computer. I do not have the funds to buy a quality laptop, so I can just use it as a laptop. Why not? Like there is no law of physics like, oh, it does not have the crunch power. Like this teraflops this has, few years ago, that was the desktop teraflop level. Like desktop level. Not even like a cheap laptop. No, desktop level. This puppy is good. And this is Exynos one. So be mindful, modern smartphones are very, very capable. It's just software that is holding it back. Pixel, they had a Pixel 9 announcement. First time they are taking that, tablet mode, not tablet mode, desktop experience mode very seriously. From now onwards, they will also support this sort of docks where you can have the display output and basically USB 3.0. And why did not I buy that phone? Yeah, that was ludicrously expensive, 80,000 rupees. I'm like, nah, bruh. That kind of price is like, nah, bro. Like this is hurting me. That's how expensive this one is. All those things are like on a whole different level. I'm like not buying it. And many people are like, why not buy like S22? You could get S22 for a kind of good price. Yeah, this is 300 days, almost 1 year older than S22, meaning this will get 1 year extra of support. So I bought it now. Does not mean anything. When this puppy was launched, the Samsung starts clock from that point, how many OS updates will be there. So you do not want the idea, again, if you can afford it, you do not want the idea of like actually buying old smartphones. If you can buy a new one, go with new one, especially if you want to run it for longer duration. So I bought this. Now, if you are in America, you will get a Snapdragon processor in this. In outside, you're gonna get Exynos 2200, something like that. Now, is it good enough? Well, Exynos in the early days, that were like black day and night difference. Nowadays, it's like everybody who's testing it, it's like barely 20% difference, barely. Now, battery may be smaller into this. Now, I do expect battery life to be sucky simply because my last phone had 7000 milliamp hour. Again, Samsung F62. So nothing would compare to just raw size of that. Now this puppy barely has like 4500. It's not gonna be that good, but I do expect it to last a day. If it can, like if I plug it, remove the plug from the morning and it can last me till evening, and only time of travel where I actually need that kind of battery life. If I'm not traveling, I don't actually need that sort of battery life. So we'll see. Right now I'm not judging it simply because I do expect the battery life to become better once the operating system get used to my use case. So let's see. Why nobody is commenting? There are so many concurrent views, but nobody is commenting. That's weird. Yes, comments are active. I do not have any hidden comments into this. So what is the matter? Like generally people do comment. It's like, why nobody is commenting, man? Anyway. So do expect a future, I'm gonna talk a lot more about DeX. Only Motorola does the software application properly. Samsung has been doing it for quite some time, and Pixel will start doing now from now onwards. And again, I really wanted Nothing phone to also do it. So, because here's the deal, what has changed? Like smartphone has reached a stagnation point. You can't push beyond it. Oh, the camera is a bit better. It's like, whoa. It's not gonna go like, whoa, 2 megapixel to 12 megapixel is a big jump. 12 to anything above is not a big jump. Like it reaches a point of diminishing return. So what else can you do? Now imagine a proper laptop system. Like you can do so much in this. So, and again, I just started to scratch the surface, and it's good. It's good. I could even see where I have an Xbox controller. I can pair with it, and utilizing this adapter, I can get like full HD 60 Hz. And be mindful, because it's a direct what you call pipeline coming from the display driver. It has very low latency, stable, and it's not doing extra crunching load, because again, there is a physical wire that is connecting the GPU, as in the Exynos GPU, to the display. So it's far more efficient, and benefit of that is now I can actually play the game. I did try to do that with basically a cheap dongle. That dongle was basically upgraded version of Chromecast. If you know, Chromecast have the ability to mirror the screen, right? Now, because again, Chromecast is a product, they must have developed a variant of it, which was a debugging tool. In that variant, as in like in that hardware protocol, in that software stack, there is a point where you can utilize the USB cable. So if you did not had a mobile phone that does not have the display output, which again, only few phone do, only few, like very few phone, like Asus ROG is one of the popular one that has display output. Motorola Edge 50 Pro has that. One or two OnePlus phone also had that, but it's a very rare feature. You could just connect that. It was giving you a USB 2.0 data stream to Chromecast. Chromecast was acting as a display out. Now, was it good? Yeah, better than nothing, but it was not that great. Like, it was very close to the wireless performance. This is like shut up, take money. This is like on a whole different, like a direct connection. So I can actually do things. So I'm very excited. Like first time I'm experiencing a pro level kind of equipment, whereas like, whoa, it can actually do things no iPhone can do. Until you go to iPhone 15 Pro Ultra Max, nothing else can do this. Like most iPhones, again, lightning port does not have enough wires for USB 3.0, so it cannot. MHL is not that good. USB-C, again, people put a lot of love into USB-C in order to make it. So USB-C has, oh, somebody donated? Nice. Let me look into it. Okay. Okay, your name is very complex. J-O-H Johnson. Johnson, you have donated 10 rupees from AXL Bank. Thank you. Aside from this topic, I want to start a startup in. You were sending a very long text. You could write comment, man. The comments is not what you call. There is no restriction on comments, right? Let me double check. I'm now worried. Like, why nobody is commenting? Why nobody is commenting? Is there some like lock? Is it members only or something like that? How do I check? How do I check? How do I check? Ads automation is on. I do not know why nobody is commenting. Like, all of you are giving hearts. Can you comment something? Is there like a limit? Like, test. It's working, so why nobody is commenting, man? Like, it's confusing. Okay, so today is the day we talk without. It's like, why? I'm confused. Telegram. At least I can comment. Yeah, but you may be moderator. I may have locked it somewhere. That's the part that is scaring me. That is the part scaring me. What the hell? How do I check it? How do I check it? Is it moderator lock? I think, yeah, that's what my best guess is, that it is moderator lock. Okay, if it's showing that you have to be a moderator to comment to it, please send that emoji that is above 100%. So I will know that everybody is hearing to what I'm saying and sending that. Above 100%. Above 100%. Don't send 100%. Above 100%. Settings, description. But how can I edit it? It's active right now. Analytics, details. Public, it's set for public. So, yeah. Okay, now nobody is sending. Okay, okay, it's showing moderator only. Okay, there is a issue. There is a issue. There is a glitch. Okay, let me see what I can do. But there is no place where I made that setting. It's like, how did it? Oh, okay, okay, safe. Okay, my bad. Anybody should be able to comment now. My bad. I'm very sorry. Very sorry. For some reason, it was like I'm very, very sorry. It's like how the heck that happened. Uh, yeah, I'm very sorry. Very sorry. It's like it copy pasted my behavior from my Hindi channel. That's like that is unexpected. I'm very, very sorry. TP, hi, hi to you. Amit, hello, hello to you. Um, Prashad Swan, hey, hey, it's fixed, it's open now. Yeah, thank you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It was members only for so long. Yeah, my bad, my bad. How the heck I missed it? Like, how the heck it was? I'm just aside from the topic. I want to start up in seaweed biofuel. What steps should I take right now? First, go contact with a lot of people who are working in algae mining. Like algae is already a food product, what you call food additive and all that. So those people have the most of the pipeline sorted. Meaning, how do you get the license for the sea? How do you get the crew? How do you get like all the pipeline until you get the raw seaweed? After that you need different people, so sort that part out. Basically go to them, talk to them. Like a lot of medical company is utilizing it as a additive. Food company, ice cream company, things of this nature, they are going YOLO on algae. I think India made 6,000 tons of algae last year. So that part is sorted. You have to use those people in order to figure out how to get the pipeline sorted. Then you have to talk with people who know how to take lipids, convert it into hydrocarbon fuel. Again, more than enough people are there that are competent enough to help you in that. And you have to make sure both of them are married. So that's there. Sir, extended by any 25-minute composite now every day. We want to see you live. Yeah, everyday live is like too, what you call it, everyday live would be too boring. It won't be fun. It won't be fun. Like you may think it's fun, but it won't be fun. So, my bad. Again, I have no idea how the heck it's a different channel. So how the heck it copy pasted the behavior from different channel? It's like my bad, my bad. It's like it does happen. Oh, somebody did send me on like Instagram. Somebody did try to send me on Instagram. Okay. Yeah, my bad. But it happens. It's one of those things. Things happen. So. Yeah, what I was talking about. Yeah, seaweed was. So you need basically these two entities, you need to get them married together, and then you have to figure out how do you gonna deal with the legal part of it. Legal part is the most boring part because again, you are talking about fuel, you are talking about land rights, you are talking about sea rights, all of those things. So there is a lot of legal hassle to this. But again, you can do it. Do you know how can measure the temperature and high temperature environment for 10 to 12 seconds? Is there any method known to that can handle high pressure? There are specific dedicated sensor built for that. Thermocouples can easily handle hundreds of degrees Celsius. So again, temperature probes that are used for furnaces will give you what you are looking for. It's not that difficult. And again, what exactly are you trying to measure? That's the whole point. There is a good chance it might just, oh, I want to do this. There is a sensor built exactly for that. No, I meant every day we get to see you live, hence extended by 25 minutes. I meant no, not every day I have to get to see extend by 25 minutes. Yeah, no problem, no problem. I am standing this time because again, my last trip kind of triggered my what you call hamstring, and that puppy is painful, so I cannot sit on a chair for a very long time. So I am standing, and again, this is the first time I am actually hating the fact that my webcam does not have a very long cable. All the webcams I have bought so far, again, all of them from Logitech, they come with giant cables. This is small cable, and I need long cable right now, but it is what it is. Can suggest any idea for building new software? Like, so again, I already built one software, the data logger, USB data logger. It's already there on GitHub and all that. So I did have some experience with that. Now, first thing I'll tell you, make sure it has a what you call a good user interface. Now, software, like, do you already have some idea in mind, or you are asking for an idea? I do not know which one it is. So that's one of those things. So how's 5G in your new phone? Yeah, this is my second experience with 5G, but again, this is first time I'm actually using it because I just put my Geo SIM into this. It became 5G SIM after that, and I barely used it for a week. Then I switched to this. This has 5G. Everything is working fine. Again, we'll see. We'll see how long it lasts. Like, I'll see. Again, the primary reason I wanted to switch to 5G is like 4G is bad. Like 4G is bad in my area. It's barely giving 1 Mbps. Barely. meaning it's so bad that payment application struggles. It's like slow internet and all that. So it has to switch to what we call 5G. 5G network. There I am getting 100 Mbps. Now again, I do not expect that 100 Mbps to last because, well, practically speaking, it will only last as long as there is no subscriber, meaning the moment the count of users go up, the speed will come down. But again, right now 4G is unusable, so I had to go to 5G. It's working as expected, so I'm happy with that. Any thoughts on India's education system? Eesh, that's a tough subject. That's like a very, 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 very tough subject. That's like, whew, that's hard. Like that's like a systematic problem. It's not like just, oh, this thing is broken. The only thing I can say to any child right now is like focus on self-study. If you can focus on self-study and discipline, there's a good chance you're going to be sorted in life. But other than that, not else. Like it has to be generic, because I can't, like this, you're talking about a whole system of the things, and I have made dedicated videos about that where I'm like really went into deep aspect of it. Asking for idea. Software. What is your specialty? Meaning what sort of things you are good at? For example, you can make a system which simplifies file management for data backup purposes. Right now there are no easy application where you can basically, hey, this is the master folder, clone this to 2 places and only clone the new ones when new files are added. Only do that and do checksum on that. Checksum on a file, as in like check the file is a bit rotten has happened or not. These sort of advanced function, they exist on server level but not on desktop level. So you can write a software if you are good with file structures and file checking, integrity checking. If you are good with those sort of things, that is a very good application where you can actually make some money out of it if it's a good system. If not, it still would be a useful system as a project, open source project and all that. Again, I have already built one open source project, so it's a interesting thing to do. So how is the camera in your new phone? Much better than this one, so I'm happy with that. Again, how good it is compared to like everything. Again, if I'm traveling, there is a good chance I will get to compete this puppy with iPhones, but iPhone is one of those things where everybody thinks it's great camera, but every time you do double blind test, everyone's like, yeah, it's not good. Even MKV HD is like, it does that almost, I think 3-4 years online. Most of the times iPhone has lost. And again, some of my relatives have iPhone and the photos are like, that's it. Like it's just that badge that has the value, but not the whoa. So I know for a fact my brother's S23 Ultra will be like, bruh, please. But it still would be interesting to see how fan edition works. So that would be something that I would like to try. Do you make a video on how to make government merit based or incentive based so that we can make faster, like Western don't consider the population problem? Yeah, that's again, Bangladesh gave us a very good glimpse of what happens when you have too much quota system. So Bangladesh should be a very good wake up call for us. It's like if we do not fix ourselves, we can literally tear a country apart. And be mindful, Bangladesh till few months ago, everybody was like, fine, it's progressing, everything is happy, everything is cool, and then boom, country fell apart. So it's one of those things where we have to go to meritocracy. What is it called? Meritocracy. I'm unable to pronounce it. So iPhone is, somebody was writing iPhone is better than A7, S3. Yeah, if somebody is saying that, that means they are bad at the camera. If somebody is saying that, they are bad with camera, okay? They are just bad with camera. iPhone is great for video work. I have seen a lot of people talking about that, and it was true. Let that be very clear. It was true till I think iPhone 12, where Android was like, Android could not do autofocus properly. But in modern systems, I have not seen that sort of like, whoa, anymore. Again, if people say that it's about application, be mindful, the best known application, Luminara app that is for what you call video editing was not even available for Android. So I could get that point. If somebody says, hey, quality applications are not available for Android, I will get that. I get that. But that's not even true anymore. So again, I have heard that. I have heard that part that you are saying that iPhone has better video, but is it really like whoa, or is it like bit better? So let's see. Can WhatsApp chat to PDF convert as a software idea? What's the point of it? Like, I get it. You want to do it, but what's the point of it? Like, is it actually valuable? Oh, This is good. This is good. This again requires a modern level of software development. If you can create what we call optical character recognition, you can create a scenario if somebody is like taking screenshots, let's say. Again, Google Pixel does that now, where you take screenshot, it catalogs it. So you can make an application where if you can do that, is like you take screenshots, whatever have it, and it can catalog data out of it. Basically, images to CSV output. You can do that. That would be like, whoa, useful. That would be useful. That's the whole point of it. It would be useful if you can do that. And again, there are pre-built libraries for text, basically image to text converters. So you can utilize that. And again, if I'm not mistaken, you can even do that with Google's API if you need very high quality. So that's that. West Bengal under dictatorship, 20% vote looted by TCMs. Yeah, that's, yeah, West Bengal, like at some point it was the crown jewel of India, but right now it looks like, eesh. So I'm from rural area in UP. I get a maximum of 30 Mbps, rare cases, otherwise just about 50 Mbps on 5G as of now. Oof. And I'm pretty sure 4G would be even worse. And again, there was an experience on 13th, I was in court and went to the court. This phone was showing 5G, everything is fine, everything. Then it started raining. This is the first time I'm seeing signal degrade while weather is changing, because again, 5G has very low penetration. So rain started hard. It literally downclocked from 5G to 4G, LTE plus. I'm like, what the hell? But again, anybody who knows the 5G frequency, they are very vulnerable to rains and all that. Oh, now I have a lot more concurrent people. That was my bad. Yeah. I think because comments were not open, how the heck I made that slip up happen, but again, such thing happens. So I'm trying to measure temperature into the combustion chamber of a rocket, hybrid rocket. I really want to know how can measure the temperature and high temperature. Yeah, there are sensors for that. You can just buy the sensor. You can just buy the sensor. There are sensors specific. If you have a chamber, you can just drill, you know, what we call thermocouple. There are high temperature thermocouple. You can just buy it. It's not that difficult. You can buy high temperature thermocouple, or you can do a reverse calculation, meaning from in the exhaust plume, put that probe there and calculate backwards what would be the core temperature. If you do not want to tamper with inside the chamber, that is the next best option you have. Put sensors outside of the basically flame and then calculate backwards. If it's this much pressure, this much velocity and flow, you can get a good estimate, not precise, but good estimate, where it's like, okay, this is what's happening. And again, at least it will allow you to have relative calculation, where it's like, okay, I had this setting, temperature went down, I had this setting, temperature went up. At least you will have a relative calibration. So yeah, what you want looking for, it's available. You can just buy it from the market. I feel our neighbor nations are not in the good situation, and it's a very dangerous sign. Yeah, ironically, other than the USA and West, almost no other nation survived proper democracy. Africa got most of its independence almost at the same time as we did. So it's not like, whoa, Africa is so behind us. Like, it has the same thing as us. And again, Pakistan had the same thing with us, Bangladesh had the same thing with us, Sri Lanka had the same thing with us. So it's like, what the hell happened? Well, it's democracy. Like, ironically, India did had a good, much better democratic system than almost all of these countries. All of these. So like if you look into the history of history as in like the last 75 years of Africa, it's like dictatorship, election is happened, the person elected becomes dictator, then a coup happens, then that person becomes the dictator. It's like a hilarious. It's like, it's so sad it becomes hilarious. It's like every time is the same thing, same script. The person gets elected, then he changes the cabinet and then passes a new law that I am the dictator. It's like so many times it has happened, it's boring. It's like it's the same script playing out again and again, all of the countries. I'm like genuinely shocked how good India is in terms of politics. Like having two parties who are actually fighting, like they are not like colluding from the back end. I'm like, damn. And we have not devolved into one party system yet. And I'm like, for 75 years, it's a rare, what you call, whoa. And again, look at Pakistan. Exact date of independence. And again, they did a troll trick where it's like, it's 14th, one day older than you. I'm like, good luck with that. So, yeah. Just remove over far, let young fellow take over, at least they will do something. Eesh, that's one way of looking at it. I used auto hotkey for making macros for games. Do you play any Metroventive games? I do not know which word you are utilizing. Metrovision games. Metroid Vision? Not sure what you're about. But yeah, I do use auto hotkey, and I just exposed my brother to auto hotkey, and he's like, oh, I should have known this when I was writing the book. At least his next book will be sped up technically. So that's there. Uh-huh. We'll solve the problem of pressure measurement using tube manometer with oil and avoid direct contact with temperature. We'll solve this temperature first. Yeah, you can do that. See, it's what you're looking for. There are people specifically, there are like what you call Reddit threads where people who are in amateur rocketry, they will give you all the details you are looking for, how they have measured it. So you should be able to find it. Like what you are exactly looking for, you should be able to find it. Given the freedom in Android and Android over, take Android anytime over Apple. Yeah, like Apple is just a bad company, that's why I don't do it. Like people who do not know, I do not mind it, but if they know that Apple literally paid nothing to Indian workers and they're like, I'm gonna buy Apple, I'm like, yeah, no, I was writing A73 is better than latest iPhone, but realized my A7 didn't fit in my pocket, lol. So not to mention the lenses weight. Yeah, that's the whole point. TMC party leaders relatively involved in for this 90% of tempered proof tempered, they'll never get justice. Well, welcome to life. Why are you pushing this English channel? You are already good numbers of subscribers in other channels, so I do not forget English. English is a learned language for me. It's a second language I know. If I do not keep practicing it, I'll forget it. And again, I do get good interaction here. And again, I do get some money here. And again, any money above zero, me good, me like it. So it's as simple as that. And again, I have seen like my English speaking skill was like very seriously compromised when I was not using it. So I have to use it. Otherwise, I'll keep forget. Politics are West behind. Ooh. That's some harsh language, but I see you, I feel you, and I have friends from Bihar. And here's the ironic part of it: there are so many Biharis in Australia, not Indians. Let that be very clear. Not Indians, Biharis, exact state. Bihar is in Australia. That they are building a committee there how to upgrade Bihar, not India, Bihar. Like there was a very old comment, like I think few years ago, somebody commented that Bihar is a very binary state where it's like either you are a genius or you are an idiot, nothing in between. So given how many people are in Australia, like let's look at state wise, they had litti chokha for Holi, man, in Australia. Like they booked the whole park. That's how much is there. So it's one of those things where it's like I see what you're saying. I feel you. Hollow Knight, nah. I rarely play games nowadays. Like a few days ago, it was like a bit stressful. So then I started playing Raft because again, it was like too messed up. So I needed something like that. What do you think about People's Republic of China's GMP type of government suddenly boost order? No, it's selling your kidney for future. It's not going to sustain itself. Again, it's the exact same script that we had from Soviet Union. It's just a bit more of butter masala of what you call pseudo-capitalism. But again, it's going to play out exactly the same. Again, instead of collapsing in 60 years, it may collapse in 75, maybe. But again, their economic standards are already starting to stagnate, already ahead of schedule. So, communism does not work, and you can dilute it with capitalism. But problem is capitalism is hard enough on its own to filter out, and if you have double thing filtering it out, it's like, no, it's not gonna work. So are you working somewhere or are you full-time YouTuber? I'm full-time YouTuber. You know how much I like your channel. I have learned to think from you. Well, that's dangerous. You're not supposed to learn to think. You should have developed your own style. But again, happy to help. So why do you become so barbaric these days? Just demanding justice regard any. Why do people just so barbaric these days? Again, there is a frustration, lot of frustration. Like think in this way: it's like a dam that is under pressure, and minor cracks happen, and then it's like people are looking for what you call let out, way where they can let out their anger. So anything will work. And again, the current situation is very what you call feisty. It's like almost bad. Let's just put it that way. World need energy is increasing exponentially every year. What after fossil fuel? Do we have solid alternative sources? Reports says fossil fuel last about 2050, 2060. What that problem is solved long ago. We crossed that threshold. We crossed that threshold where it's like, do we have alternatives? Yeah, we have it. Right now, solar is cheaper than coal. Right now, wind is cheaper than all other systems. So solar and wind, and in terms of scope, how much gigawatt hour you get, it's more than enough. Even if you increase humanity consumption by 10 folds, multiple times, it's like, bro, I got this. Problem is not there. Problem is conversion is not happening fast enough. And again, it's happening very fast, but not overall. And we are still figuring some things out. But it will be solved. That's not an issue. That's not a what you call. And again, we are also solving how efficient we are becoming with our energy. Like few years ago, the compute horsepower in this that is running in watts. Like the whole battery is barely few watts, and the 6 hours of compute that I can get out of that, it's unbelievable compared to my first computer. It's like people would not even believe that should be possible, but here I am, it's in my pocket. So our efficiency is also getting exponentially better. So our energy consumption is no longer like whoa, and not to mention world population has already collapsed. Birth rate of like 150 countries has already below 2.1. So population is not gonna like whoa, that has already happened. Now again, things require long-term data analysis. That's why not many people are aware of it, but that has already happened. So like if you are figuring out would Japan's energy consumption will go up? No, it won't, because they don't have any children left. So again, there will be a little bit of up and down, but it won't be like straight line that used to be there. So we have changed that, but that's no longer an issue. Energy is like no longer an issue. It's just that whether you do the hard part of it, solving some issues, like specifically how do you have interconnected grid, how do you have grid inertia, how do you have energy storage. These things are difficult but not impossible. So that's there. What about fabulous discussion as always in your other video presentation, although it may be there but I'm not aware. What exactly you're talking about? The idea is the government should make a charging lane where the speed limit of the vehicle fixed, where it should provide continuous charging while driving. Yeah, that's not logical. People have tried that. Like you are driving a car, it will wirelessly charge it. You will waste so much electrical energy that it is, and again, road cost will go exponentially higher. So it's just not viable. Like like that's why I say physics, engineering, economics. Physics and engineering is solved. It's just that economics will bankrupt you. So you cannot try that. Other it's like minimum 1 hour charging, but yeah, that does not work. Like again, even on your mobile phone, how much energy you waste compared to like going from USB-C versus going to wireless charging. Yes, this phone does have wireless charging. It's exponentially larger. So imagine, and this is on watts level, like you are talking about few watts. Imagine kilowatts that you need for your car. The waste energy would be in kilowatts. So fundamentally, that's not a good solution. And again, we should not need it. Like you do not worry about like charging your phone. Again, we are lazy too much nowadays, where it's like, oh, let me burn the planet because I'm too lazy to do this. It's like, bro, just do that. So it's one of those things. Like if your car can easily ride from night to night, meaning you in morning you take out your car, it does everything you need it to do, and then you park at night and then you plug it in, done. If it can jump from that point, basically from morning to night driving, it's like sorted, more than good enough. More than good enough. You do not need all that hyper complex system. Again, it can be done. There are products, there are prototypes, you can buy it. It's just that you want to go bankrupt. It's too expensive. And nor it cannot be made cheaper, because again, what would be cheaper? A direct plug versus magical hulululu where you are doing induction charging and all that. And be mindful, induction charging are inherently inefficient if the distance is high. That's why for mobile, it's almost has to touch. You have this much road clearance in car, yeah, forget about efficiency. So it's not that viable. We need to maintain between capitalism and no. Communism, the idea is fundamentally flawed. Capitalism is very close to natural system, which again is very exploitative, very destructive, but again you need throttle on that. Capitalism is just wrong. Communism is just wrong. Just wrong. So India being democracy so far, even it's a flawed democracy, big deal considering we have huge population, so much diversity. Yeah. Because, sir, Realme has showcased a charging speed of 300. Yeah. I will not put my faith into that, because again, if they had that sort of technology, they will not launch it on a mobile phone. They will like, here's a car that charges in 5 minutes. The end. So if they are not doing it in Germany, I guess they tried it. Now it's a failed. Yeah, it's always fails. Like here's the deal: physics, engineering, economics. You have to figure out the economics. Think about it. Like what you're saying. Roads are expensive as. They're expensive, and you're like, what if I make it 10 times more expensive? And what if instead of using 1 megawatt to charge my car, what if I 1 megawatt to the car, and now I waste 20% more or 30% more? Yeah, it's just not. Again, in the last video I talked about is like battery swapping versus hydrogen system. It's like people just assume that renewable is free. It's not free. You cannot afford to waste energy, no matter how much energy we make, because again, transmitting energy, carrying the energy, managing the energy takes money. You cannot just oops or waste energy. Who cares? You cannot do that. Like under the laws of physics, you cannot be free. Who is closer manufacturing space fiber optic, and what will happen to this company when they do? That's a bit far off. That's a bit far off, because again, you do need a very robust station. ISS is not good enough for that. And again, some capsules that we are trying to put in orbit and other, no, you need basically orbital reef like kind of structure, or what is the other space station? Orbital reef is the Blue Origin one, and another one is Axiom Space. Yeah, you need something private space station where you can build a system, large system, and maintain it for long duration. Then you can do that. It's like how to improve spoken English, and why Indian kids who learn from vernacular medium have inferior complexity for English. Again, Gen 1 product issue. It's like Gen 1, the first people who learn English, you have to understand that English is British English, right? Is it different? You have to watch a lot of, you have to have much higher exposure to understand that not everybody talks like, I'm gonna talk in English. It's gonna be very professional, very polite. Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. That's the real English that is used. Ain't nobody got time for that. It's just completely grammatically incorrect, but that's the reality of it. So you do need a lot of exposure to understand, oh, it's not magic. It's like, a beggar in America still talks in English. You need a lot of knowledge for that. We have not, like Mark 1 of India has not got that experience yet. And again, we are in Mark 2. So Mark 3, 4, I am expecting they will be just like butter. And again, India are like more than good enough to get jobs in America, so we good. More than good enough to get CEOs there, we good, we sorted. So there's a EV versus hybrid car, which is best for India. My money was series hybrid. Why India so behind in R&D? Top Indian company Tata importing engines from other manufacturers. What I expect from other Indian companies? That's the same point. It's like I have told it time and time again, because we come from such a exploitative state for like 400 years, 200 years. One regime was enabling us. 200 years after that, British East India Company was enabling us. Of course, going through that much exploitation gives too much fear response. And I have talked about America as in like one good thing, they have balls. We do not have that. Like we do not have the luxury, let's go. Like it does not work, it does not care, let's go. Whether it works or does not work, we will figure it out later. That we do not have. And unless you have that, you cannot truly do good R&D. You can like, hey, we have this medicine, let's make it cheaper. India's like, I got this, we good, we great. But it's like, make a new medicine, it's like, ooh. So, and especially with unknown technology, that's where it's like, ooh, It's like going YOLO is not an Indian way, so to say. How is your experience with your new phone? It's exciting. This is the first time I had a phone that I can go outside during the court. I'm like very rarely exposed to the sunlight. I was there and it's like I opened it, it's like it was working. I was like, whoa, what the hell? Because again, it has that boosted brightness of 1000+ nits. I could watch it in sunlight. I was like, this is the first time I'm experiencing it. Like again, my old phone was 3 years old, and before that I do not even think it was possible, even on the S series of that time. So that whoa effect happened to me, where it's like, whoa, now I can do that. Like, before this, where I like sunlight I have to watch like this, and now I was like, whoa. That was like a whoa experience for me. It's like, whoa. So that's there. No, it was shown on mobile, it was there on YouTube. I'm not trusting as in like, I do not deny that can be done. I just do not think it can be done effectively, meaning there is some hidden cost. Most likely is the lifespan of the cells, meaning the cells may not have the same capacity after 1 year only, or how many charge cycle it can withstand. That's the question. Which country investment in Hyperloop and Hulu technology? If you know the empirical in real life safety and other issues, then department handling those things knows it. No, they do not know it. His deal, incompetence is shocking. Look into what happened with the Trump's shooting. The incompetence there, it was like, are you serious? Are you serious? This is the best of the best of the best a country has to offer, and this is how incompetent they are? You will be shocked. Trust me when I say this. The more you study history, more you're like, holy damn, incompetent people can reach a place where it's like, this should not be possible, but it is. More than enough time. More than enough time. What is corporate? I checked, but simplified version. I can't find anyone besides you. Yeah, I'm in Mark 1 in my family. Another reason being behind R&D is education system, which is more reason we can't. IITs didn't come in best universities worldwide. Bro, where is the chair? My legs hamstring basically. assume this is your leg, this part is the hamstring will part, that hurts. The court ride was like very painful. Again, I'm sitting in a car wheel for like 8 hours. It's painful. I have to make sure that next time I'm traveling, I'm sitting on the back front lying down. It's like, otherwise my leg will destroy me. It's very painful, frustrating, but it is what it is. So what if India goes back in time and when internet was like 500 GB? It's like what ifs have no answer now. You can keep going what if this and that, but it has no answer. We have to deal with what we have right now, and it is what it is. For better or worse, it is what it is. You make do with what you got. It's like, I have suffered a lot of that wasteful thinking where it's like, you know, what if I can go back? Again, I have a court case, so trust me when I say this, I really wish I could go back, bitch slap Anupam Vipul of 3.5 years ago. That will save so much time, money, blood, everything. But it is life. Kolkata case directly defending. And is frustrating. Welcome to life. And again, that's hundreds of cases is like very low compared to the population of India. And if you think that case is bad, look into Houthi. There are other countries that are destroyed and things that are happening there. I'm ironically relaxed about the fact that India is responding this violently about this. It's so unnormal for us. But again, there are many countries who are destroyed government, corrupted government, where this is like Tuesday for them. Again, it's like many times, again, the same thing. I used to think India has very bad electricity until I figured out what's happening in South Africa. So same thing goes there. Like India is not perfect, but that's the price. Like if you ever want a world where there is not a single crime, that's not happening. That's only possible in death. You can reduce the crime. And again, there is a bad period of our psychology where if you have reduced a crime low enough, even one crime becomes so bad, it's like, how this can happen, and all that. And like that feels bad, but it's actually a good sign. For example, Neil deGrasse Tyson puts it mathematically precisely, where it was like during there is a period from World War I, end of World War I, and till the end of World War II, more than hundreds of people were dying per day. Dying, not like natural causes, just dying. Like this explosion happened, and during World War, lots of people. Like it's hilarious how bad that number was. Now, compare that to now. What happens if 100 people died today? It's a big news item. But you may think, oh, the world is so bad because 100 people died. No, it's good because that happened. Because if you are getting news of that and that event is so focus of public discourse, that means we are so safe. We are so, so relatively, let that be very clear. People will say, oh, we are not safe. No, relatively speaking. Instead of having thousands of cases per day, we have tens of cases. I am happy that at least 990 people are safe. Okay, in that regard. Again, you can twist it however you want to, but that's the fact of it. It's like we used to have hell, now this hell is this much, but it can never be zero. You cannot achieve zero. And if you try to achieve zero, you will make bigger hell. Like we have learned it the hard way. You can only reduce hell, can never eliminate it. Like fact of science is brighter the light, darker the shadow. So, problem that to life postponed problem tha. Nah, it's like what else would I do? And again, this is my living, so in next week there won't be any much video. I did not get much video made, so next will be already downturn. Again, last week was I made video every day, now next week nothing. So yeah. So I was talking about the cable charging like trains, not wireless. Yeah, that's not happening. Again, Germany already built that where they had trucks and all that. Yeah, it's not working. We'd been there, done that. Been there, done that. Why don't you make videos on the other topics than science? Like you have good knowledge on economics. No. Economics I do not understand. How? I am poor. If I knew about economics, I would be rich. If I am not rich, I am dumb about economics. So that's there. You can explain economics very well and all that. Because people in India focus on just copying, pasting in an exam what you see in the book, is not focusing on understanding. Yeah, that's factually true. So how is 3 tube light in the back? How you do make it? That's my video light. That's my video light. So it's basically not 3 tube lights, 6 tube lights. So 2 tube lights, and because of the wire comes off from side, I have to rotate one of them. So wires comes from both, and again I have thermocol. You can see thermocol there. So thermocol is the buffer between two. Then 2 again, thermocol, again all of them are taped. It's a very janky situation, but it does work. Very bright, meaning if this was on this side, this webcam will perform very well, because again so much light, it will be a very low noise system. I'm and also West Bengal. Yeah, hundreds of messages. Like, what's your political view on primary parties? Again, I have already talked about our failure of voting system. We cannot have first past the post. We just cannot. Like, that will self-destruct. So we do need what you call transferable vote system. My college teacher says you write a correct answer in the exam, but you do not use the technical words in the book. So I was shocked. It's not. Can do. Yeah. FE21 heat without AC. That's not my experience so far. And again, if there is an issue, I'll tell you. Like, again, I'm openly saying do not buy this. Does not have good cameras. So again, if there is an issue, I'll find it. I'll figure it out. So. I have known loyalty to the company. It's just that I have constrained that I do not want to buy Chinese companies, so that reduces the pool. And if I'm buying, it should have something good. Like, again, this is the first time I'm experiencing USB 3.0 on a freaking phone, and it's like, whoa! You're telling me that I have faster read and write than this puppy in this? Like, that's happening in real life today. I'm like, whoa! You're telling me I can have just like, you know, this, and this is a freaking this plus this equals a freaking computer. Ironically, my mouse, this mouse has Bluetooth mouse, so the number one is what you call computer, number two is mobile phone. I have paired it with a mobile phone, so I'm having a lot of fun. And another part was that's why I wanted 3 ports, so I can have keyboard, mouse, and a data drive. Or at least you can buy a lot of what you call combi setups where you have one dongle for keyboard and mouse. So that was there. मैं OnePlus में बहुत ज़्यादा खुश हूँ. Good for you. See, if you're happy with OnePlus, enjoy, have fun. It's like there is no what you call ownership. Like, companies don't own us; we own them. It's like if Samsung was like this is my last attempt with Samsung. I did specify that if this phone was not good, and again I'm gonna use it more and figure out if this is not good, this will be the last Samsung phone I buy. I will try OnePlus, not OnePlus, Nothing phone and Pixel. I could try that because again, Pixel is becoming the third company that is making a desktop experience. So I'm happy with that. Samsung really offers a good phone package compared with other companies when it comes to stability for long term. I would tend to agree with that. That's my primary reason my brother is not buying a OnePlus phone anymore. It's like he had a lot of OnePlus, like OnePlus 5, OnePlus 6, like he had gone through all of that. It's just that at the end it was so bad. Like, again, if you watch Linus Tech Tips, same thing was there. It's like call was not working, many basic things were broken. So, and again, I had a Samsung where the display malfunctioned because somebody was mining freaking cryptocurrency on phone that fried the display. But again, in a small town, middle of nowhere, I could go to a Samsung shop and they replaced it. It was possible. I can't do it with any other brand. So that's a realistic thing. My brother had got a shock. He has Samsung S23 Ultra, and he's like, I asked him, it's like, because you're spending so much money, after 2 years, replace the battery. He's like, what do you think the battery replacement cost would be? I showed it in the, Samsung's own website. It's very cheap. Comparatively to everything else. Pixel 33 no, there is no Pixel that is good enough in under 30,000. No, just no. It's like, if you like Pixel, go buy for it. Not for what I was looking for. Not even close. Like, no. And one Pixel that has USB 3.0, that's 80,000 rupees. So I do not know which Pixel you are talking about. Pixel 8 right now on Amazon. Hell, let's Google it now. Let's just Amazon Pixel 8, which mind you, Pixel 9 has already come. So Pixel 8, 8GB, 128GB storage. Pixel 8a 5G Obsidian 8GB 256GB storage. This puppy, that's 54,000. So I have no idea which phone you're talking about. So that's there. And let's look at Pixel 9. I don't think Pixel 9 is here. Yeah, Pixel 9 is not there. Pixel 9 price would be far, it's $100 more expensive now. So Pixel 9 shopping, yeah, it's not even available yet. Oh, it's just announcement. So that's the point. I have no idea. It's like, don't be a salesman of a company, man. It's like, why there is a UPI code in the screen? Again, for people who want to donate to me over using UPI, many of them have suggested that it's easier if there is a barcode rather than like this text. Some people prefer this, some people prefer this. I have both. taken care of both of them. West Bengal people are so angry, shame is can happen in terms of energy like yeah, dude, you are too involved into politics. Let it go, man. It's not your what you like. You cannot control it. It's like literally you are more likely to gain education, gain competency, and leave the country than to fix that part. It's like that's far more doable. मैंने खरीद लेता मैं खरीद लेता Okay, knock knock. That's what you're talking about. Like, oh, if it was less than 30,000. Yeah. Again, there was a point where Asus ROG phones, they were very good price to competitive. Again, camera was horrible, but at least they had 3.0. And I was looking into it, but now the ROG phones are like 80,000, 90,000. Like right now, let's look at ROG phones. So right now, ROG phone price is Nothing Phone 2 is 50,000. ROG phone 8 Pro, right? So, oh, it's not available on Amazon. Yep. Only screen guards are available. So I'm pretty sure it's very expensive now. It had that ROG phone shopping. Holy damn, 94,000. Yeah, no. I just say I have anxiety for the having gigabyte power supply. Just few days ago, a car caught my home and immediately I thought it was my power supply going boom. Do you have that exact model? Like Gigabyte has made more than enough power supply, but like one specific series was messed up, not every power supply. So plus first make sure that, and if it is in that power supply where it is like not working, change the power supply. It's not worth frying your computer over. Like, yeah, you may have to spend a little bit more, but 6A out of stock ho gaya. Yeah. Just want to fix it, I want to escape. Yeah, you can't fix it, it's not your problem, na. It's on Flipkart. Okay, that could be there. Samsung S23 is 1 lakh plus. It's expensive too. Yeah, that's why FE. That's why FE is 40K. So it's exponentially cheaper. Samsung phones are really work along. I have Samsung Galaxy S10. Galaxy 10 years old phone and it really works well like YouTube and other things. Huh, that's good. ROG 3 was best. I think one of my cousins had ROG 3. ROG 3 or 5, I'm not sure. But they did have a ROG phone. But again, it's like 90,000. Yeah, no. And I think at this point in time, this may be the cheapest, latest phone where you can get a USB 3.0. There's a very good chance this is the latest and cheapest phone. Is it curved display? Hell no. I don't want curved display. No, and it does not have curved display. Heck, it has big borders. It's like, I do not mind it. It's like, oh, that means I have 10% higher chance if it drops on its edge, it's not gonna crack the display. Shut up, take money. And again, this is first time I'm handling any phone that is like, you know, pro end. I basically took, if you watch my unboxing, oh no, that is on Hindi channel. So I did made a, hold on. Yeah. So this is the first time I'm holding, you can see. I do not like the glass back, but it feels premium. This is like premium phone, like whoa, very, very premium. So what happened to HTC phone? Not heard about it since a very long time. Yeah, they are coming back. They launched one phone, Zach, that guy, that Jerry Rig Knife guy, he has that HTC phone. So they are trying to make a comeback now. So let's see what happens. And like I gave this phone to the guy who applied the screen guard. He was like, oh, it feels premium. I'm like, yeah, it is. I hope it works. It does have wireless charging. So again, I don't think I can use this and wireless charge. But if I need wireless charging, I have that. But I need a kickstand. So kickstand plus wireless charging, I do not know any design that exists. It can happen anytime my family, there's no one left to support me. Such is life. Imagine the problem that you're describing. Imagine you are in Ukraine and boom, Russia just, wabam, bitch. Then what? That's life. It happens to everyone. It's like, imagine you are in Palestine, everything is fine, and wabam, your building explodes. Such is life, man. Such is life. Not exactly gigabyte. Not exact one, but gigabyte. It's good reviews on Amazon. But some people are saying avoid gigabyte for PSU altogether because it's Diwali. Yeah, no. The series was bad. Not everyone. So series was bad. Not everyone. Let it go. Let it go. See, there is only two things. Either A, you let it go, or B, you replace it. Don't stay in the middle part. So, any recommendation to watch documentary YouTube channels? Like that's a very long list. Eager Space, that's a new channel that I have discovered, a really good in-depth of what you call rocketry. It's a very good system. I would recommend it to everyone. Is banning diesel car will help? Hell no. Hell no. All the carbon footprint that was released by making that diesel car, now all of them is eaten. Now you have to make new cars. So yeah, it's not, it's fundamentally bad idea, but who am I to care? It's like, it's not like I'm gonna have a wife or kids, so worry about like, oh, the planet is burning because we are idiots. It's not burning because we are, no, we do not have the solution. It's like we had it. Rudolph Diesel had it. We had it, bro. We got it. Like Henry Ford got it. But like, if you're gonna keep doing stupid things will happen. So at some point, it's like, I'm out of it. Do you read Bharat Matters? No. Right now, I'm on my 4th book, and most books are either finance, self-help, nothing other than that. So. And again, the political things I do not read. It's not my monkey, na. It's like Adam Savage has, no, Adam Savage, right? Yeah, Adam Savage, that's his name. He has a very interesting quote that I like. Again, it's not his quote. He just heard it from someone. It's like, not your circus, not your monkey. It's like, if I do not control it, I do not have to worry about it. It's like, what's happening in India? It's like, I don't control it. I control this thing. I'm worried about this because again, I control it. That is so above me that I do not have to worry about it. It's like, you know, if I don't control it, what's the point of worrying about it? Heck, okay, let me tell you what happened on 13th. I went to court. There are total 3 cases against me. One case is already finished, as in like I have already lost. The second case had last hearing, meaning now the judge will either throw away the case or I will win. That's the only 2 outcomes. That will happen on 24th, Saturday. I do not have to go there for it, so I will do a live stream, but let's see what happens with that. So that will happen on 24th. Now another third case, the most painful case, that case, the judge is doing something that is flat out illegal. I have no idea why he's doing that, but it's like he's reinforcing mediation again and again and again. And be mindful, the mediation happened in court. So he's like, no, it did not happen in front of me. It's like, that means nothing. That's BS. That's a court judge laughing at his old, his own predecessor. It's like, that's not how court works, but he's doing it. I can't do anything about it. I have to just accept it. That's my life and I can't do anything about it. So if you think, oh, I'm going to fix the country, it's like, it's cheaper, better, more likely, where I'm like, okay, let me become rich, let me leave the country. That's far more likely to happen. It's like, I'm dealing with this. I'm actually dealing with this. It's not like, oh, if this, then that. It's like, nah, that's my life. My leg hurts because of that. And again, think of the reality is like, I have to accept it. Whatever happens, I have to accept it. Because again, I committed the mistake 3.5 years ago. So now I have to pay the price for it. So I want to make a DIY portable SSD, buying NVMe disclosure and 1 TB NVMe. Is it cheaper than going a good portable? Is it good idea? Yes, it's a very good idea. My brother already did that. I already did that with this. Now this is not an NVMe one. This is a SSD one. So I already did that. That's a very good system. How do you research for YouTube videos? On YouTube. There is no, I do not have special internet on YouTube. Do you have court cases on you? Why? It's like, that's personal information. I'll share that once the cases are over, but that will be a very time. Future of cycle, any idea? Cycle is unchanged for innovation because it's perfect. Not everything needs to change. If something just works good enough, economically, financially, everything is good enough, there is no need to tamper with it. So, okay, it's been 1 hour now. My legs are getting tired. My ankles are hurting. So, can you please repeat the channel name you recommended? Eager Space. Eager Space. It's a like a very weird thumbnail is there, but it's a very deep dive. A very British humor kind of scenario. Okay. Anyway, I will see you. So have you read, bro? I'm only on my 4th book. Don't just keep, oh, this book, that book, that book. I have already talked about 2 books that I've read. One is Psychology of Money. Another is this, what you call, Nectar of Pain, another is Health Self-Help book, another is right now I'm going through is another self-help book. So I'm not like, oh, read this book, it's like done. Like, okay. Anyways, I will see you guys next week with some big dangerous news. So bye.